Today marks 1665th day of day lessons, day reflections. Today I'm again in a park, and it could be quite a few sounds around. There's kids playing. There's a playground not that far away. It's quite not that far away, but I think that it will be good. And to be honest, today I was reflecting about so many different topics, and I had difficult to choose what I want to talk about. Majority of my time I was thinking about regret, but I found out that I just don't have the thinking and feeling about regret that I could potentially share because there's just too many angles that I could potentially look into it. I know that I will speak about regret in the future, but not right now. After that, I start to think about decision latency. That means when you really make a decision to do something and how long it takes to really taking action. And that finally led to the final idea that I want to speak about today, and that is there is differences between executor and simulator. Executor and simulator, and this is such an interesting topic because we can really look into. I will share 7 truths and differences between those, and then be able to look into where I act as executor, but that's exactly how we're supposed to do, and where I act as simulator. So simulator is a person who actually thinks everything. So always thinking. It's quite loud. I don't know if you're able to hear it, but the most important part is that executor is understanding based on execution, based on actions, while simulator is doing everything based on thinking, and that's not the best way to really take actions. So let's get started. I will share 7 truths. So differences: reality model, fixed map with the updating terrain. So that means similar is always is fully to needs to be fully mapped. Like they simulating everything, and all map needs to be mapped out before they take action. While for executor, terrain is always updating. They always say like I will take a couple steps and I will know exactly how things look like. I'm not able to see farther ahead than 100 meters, so I need to go above that. And it says like I heard this in a past example that when you sit in a car, you don't see all the curves. You just see the first curve, and then when you walk or drive, then you see other curve, and then that's how you get there. That's how you execute based on executor. While simulator, it needs to know every single step before they take in action. They need to map out everything. They don't want you to see surprises, but that of course delay. Number 2 is control of illusion. So influence versus prediction. So simulator wants to predict everything, while executor said that I will influence everything, and then they influence through action. They're not able to influence anything without action. That's the best way to really influence. And it's interesting because when you are simulator, you always want to predict other people's actions, your actions, things that will show up, but you will never be predictor. And I think that is much, much, much better in life when you really say that it doesn't matter what things will, how will things will turn out, but I will do my best to influence in the best possible way that it could turn out better rather than waiting and predicting. Number 3 is error signal processing. So for for executor, that's just a feedback. For simulator, is an identity threat. So executor, when I look into your errors, they're like, okay, there's something was missing, so I need to adjust, and I will adapt, learn something, develop the skill set, and I will be able to do it. But my simulator spends so much time simulating and thinking and reflecting and building their identity on simulated version of yourself, and that means that if error happens, now they start to question themselves: is that what it's supposed to be? Is that what I'm supposed to do? And it might be not. And then I think that this is a very dangerous place to be in when you really look into and in your error and say like, is this what it's supposed to be? And I think that's what's big separator between executor. But executors are like, this is just a feedback. I need to adjust something and I will be able to do it. Number 4, cognitive energy allocation. So that means that execution benefit and simulation benefit. And an interesting thing because that executor has a cycle. So act, observe, adjust, act, observe, adjust. So that's constantly in a cycle. While While simulator is in a cycle, but in different kind of cycle. They imagine outcomes, then rerun scenarios, and stress test their hypothesis. But of course, you're not able to stress test hypothesis. An interesting thing that is that simulator always think about, okay, what will be the hardest, what will be the easiest, and I have done that as well. So I know that the things that you thought that will be the most difficult becomes the most easy. The things that you thought that will be the most easy are sometimes the most difficult things. So that simulation life is not an easy life to be in. Number five is relationship to time. So compression versus expansion. So executor is compressing time. Like, what could I do now and only now? What is my next action? Like next and done, next and done. While simulator thinks about everything, 50 years, and then all the potential options, and that takes a lot of thinking energy to really think about all the options while predicting one the other thing, third thing for 50 years. And I think that's why they spend so much time thinking, because there's so many things to think about. While executors, they just think about the next step. Now, executors are able to really say that I will have my thinking time. I will have my 5% of thinking, reflection, have my vision, direction, goal, dedication, commitment. I have those. But now when I execute, I look into my next step, my one thing that I need to do right now. Number six, self trust architecture. Earned versus conditional. Executor, I trust myself because I have survived acting before. I didn't have certainty. I acted. I survived. I achieved something. I got results. Maybe sometimes good results, sometimes bad, but I survived. And I'll survive next time. While when I look at the simulator, that's trust is conditional because they think about, because they already think about. There's quite a few mosquitoes here, so I could you could see my me showing on my hands. The spring is already in happening here quite a lot, and I don't like mosquitoes at all. So I will waving here quite a lot. So let's get back to the topic. And the simulator is trust is based on how well the prediction is going. If prediction is not going well, that means that their self trust will wear. Number seven and last one, core survival strategy: adaptation versus prevention. And this is a beautiful thing when it's like I reality could surprise me. Like when executors like reality could surprise me, but I'm not afraid of it. I will adjust. It will not destabilize me because I know that I could be resourceful. I could find a way. I could be willing to really find resources necessary to really to do something better and adapt. Be flexible. Be curious. While while a simulator, everything is about prevention. So they don't like surprises. They don't want it at all because it's questioning against their identity. If surprises like I didn't thought enough, next time I need to think maybe longer. I'm not able to really think longer not to have surprises. It's impossible. Life is unpredictable, and they are afraid of that. And I think that is a beautiful thing when you really start reflecting. Like we're not supposed to live as simulators. We're supposed to live as executors. We're supposed to take action, and then again, as I said, that there's a cycle when you like act, observe, adjust, act, like look into what happens and adjust. And that's exactly where we simulations are supposed to have rather than in our head and thinking about things that potentially could happen. Now I'm guilty of that as well. That's why I'm speaking about this, because it's easy to really simulate, to think, and sometimes even it's exciting and gives you motivation to do things for a short period of time, because when you really simulate and in the mind looks so beautiful, when you start taking action and you start to see and observe that things are different than you actually thought about, and then you feel discouraged for a bit. But I think that when you learn that, when you know that's exactly what will happen, then you go and execute as soon as you can, that you can really remove all those places that you have blind spots. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So I hope you reflect as well. And again, this is an extremely important topic. Now, when I think about it, it's just extremely important topic. We're not supposed to be a simulators. We're not supposed to spend the time in our head. We're supposed to take action and then really look how results showing up because of that. Because you're not able to get results by simulation. You're able to get results by execution, and that's why we need to become executors. Executors. That's how it's supposed to be. So, okay, I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.